no vehicle. There was no vehicle.
It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th, and there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not. My client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all the decent clothes? Mom.
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Okay, welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know how I sound in chat. I don't have a frog in my throat. Let's see. Mic check. That looks good. Okay. It's coming up. We got 501 Dimebag Chris. I love that name. Love the band. So that's a good name. Pantera. Man, brings me back to the good old days. Cowboys from Hell. All right. Anyway, I'm going to get sidetracked. My ADD's going off. Welcome, everybody. Big show. Lots of new discoveries. Some further research in this case. Let me fix this real quick. There's good old Silvers. He just went out there. I don't know if he's still out there, if he just went out for the weekend. I think he just put out a video out there searching again, which is pretty amazing. Oops, that might be a little too close. There we go. Okay, let me just make sure. Moon Magic, good to see you. Carla, all my wonderful mods. D, Pocahontas, Sensei, good to see you guys. Hindsight, good to see you. All right, just make sure. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, as people roll in, let me get to the first part. So if you saw the thumbnail, one of the things that was captured, I think the first time I saw it was on Court TV, I want to say, and they were just showing some B-roll footage from the local news where there was Sheriff Craddock in the between the Proudfoot and the car's backyard, and he's using this device, and didn't think much of it at the time, and then went back and looked at it, and it just so happened to be a 3D scanner, and thought that was kind of interesting because we've covered a lot of true crime. I've got something in my eye now. And how often do you see them using a 3D scanner? If you don't know what that is, we'll pull up a video and show you. It's pretty amazing what they use those for. But I've never seen one used in a missing persons case, not to say it hasn't happened. And we've covered a lot of true crime cases, and the only one I can think of that they used in true crime was the Brian Koberger case, before they tore the house down, the college student's home down. Obviously, they did a 3D reconstruction for that, or they would have. The fact that they even demolished that was crazy before they ever did a court or a trial. But other than that, seeing those 3D scanners, again, they're usually, they're typically used, not to say they're not used in in homicides, but they're typically used for vehicle reconstruction, as what they're most commonly known for, I believe. But yeah, as far as missing children, that is never seen that, at least as far as my coverage. Let's see, I'm just reading chat here. But anyway, we'll get into that, because we touched on that, feels like a year ago, because I was just kind of just looking over B-roll footage and kind of came across that. Thought that was kind of interesting that they were using that, considering never seen that used before. So I ran that with ChatGPT, which is my best friend now. And I think I've got some other people hooked on it as well. I'm not going to point anybody out, but I've watched some other people that tune into my channel, and I can see that's rubbing off on other people, which is great, because ChatGPT is amazing. I'm addicted. Anyway, before we get to that, since we got Betty in here, shout out to you, Betty. Hope you're doing well. Saw people shouting Betty out. I can't. Oh, there she is. Perfect timing. Let's see if I can get to it here. Okay, so before we get to the 3D scanner, because I got 5 main areas to go over today, because I missed yesterday. But a lot of interesting discoveries. And the first one has to do with just the 3M Stafford car. This one here. I've got more data that I pulled from ChatGPT, and thanks to Betty's footage, there was something she walked over that got me a better view of something that is in this video, in my opinion, and it helps also identify this car. Obviously, we're not going to be able to identify the car, match it to the 3M Kellen car, because obviously we cannot see the vehicle itself. We can only just go off what we have, which isn't a lot, but it is enough to give us an idea of, kind of the size of the vehicle to, our best abilities that we have.
There was no vehicle.
So starting with this, so I originally had drone footage, which I used, and when I was going through the drone footage and going back to the Google Street image, I was looking at the crown of the road and started to notice a certain indentation, because I was always wondering what this void was, which is, for anybody that may not be familiar with the case, we have 2 videos at 3 a.m., or 2 main things that happen at 3 a.m. on this video, which is 2 subjects moving left to right, and then 1 running back. In between those, we have this vehicle that turns on mysteriously. But unfortunately, whoever leaked the footage didn't send anything else. It would have been nice to see, I assume that it pulled in with its headlights off, because something does set off the motion sensor, and we saw Silvers on the scene who drove there at night, and just as they came around the corner, they activated it. And before this even gets activated, you have subject 1 already moved across, assuming it moved all the way from the left to the right across. And you would think from that distance, if it was going to trigger the motion, it would have sensed it somewhere in between. So I assume it's something obviously either in their driveway or on the road, because clearly with Silver's driving past on the road and setting it off, we know that it's at least got a sensor, activity is at least set out to 50, 60 feet. So here's kind of an example I think is going on, but then how do we kind of determine the height, and what are we looking at, and what is this void that we're looking at? And I know we've kind of gone over this, but thanks to Betty, and the drone footage, but Betty, especially since she was actually on the ground out there, because it's important, because now if we look at it, so if we go to the street view, if you notice, they have actually, it looks like they have patched this road up. So this is 2025, earlier this year. It looks like they've done some patchwork, because if you notice, so this is this year, and if we go back one, actually it's 2 years almost, basically. I mean, look at the difference. So clearly they have done some repairs on that. So it's great to have that drone footage and Betty's footage, because I think, and we'll look at Betty's footage, you can, because the drone footage you can see it pretty good, but with Betty being on the ground, I think that void matches up with the crown. And there's also a bonus to having this identified, because it gives us results on the possible height of the car. And wait until you see this explanation that I got from Chat GPT. I always want to combine it. It's a very interesting analysis that I got from it that also can give us more idea on what the height of the vehicle may be. And then we combine that with the temperature of the tail light, which it believes it's a LED light. And I'll go over when LED lights are starting to be used in vehicles, which then also helps narrow down, does it match to the 3 a.m. Kellen car? Is it an SUV? So yeah. So, of course there's silvers. Okay, so here's Betty's footage, and and also I compared all 3 cars, because I haven't been able to do that yet. So we'll go over the results of that as well, even though, yeah, I'm sure you guys probably know the answer, but I have more actual, evidence to back this up. So, question is, could this be the car? And so far there's more matches that suggest, it's a good possibility. Obviously, we'll never be able to unless that vehicle is actually in the original footage. But from what I understand, you could only see the headlight, tail light. Maybe when it's like turning in and out, maybe there's a shot where it maybe the part of the vehicle is visible. But from inside sources, I've heard the vehicle couldn't really be seen. So here's Betty, and notice where she's at. She is, and this is important because remember we had a source, multiple sources, literally speak with the neighbor. And one of the most important things to keep in mind is this tree right here. So notice there's 2 trees. There's actually 3 of them. But when the source went to speak to the gentleman, the homeowner, he said he originally pointed out across from his mailbox, but then he had told, I think both sources, because they spoke to him multiple times, I think. But I know for a fact what was also said is that he pointed right across from this tree. He said, look at this tree. This is where, because if you recall, we were trying to measure up this curb to maybe try to get a size description. So anyway, going back to Betty's video, you can see that gash right on the crown. That's the crown. And it looks like almost the crown gets thinner as it gets towards Kellen, which is not as wide. Whereas it, if we were to go up west, it gets wider. But she gets the perfect view. And I mean, you can see it is right on the crown. And there's actually 3 gouges, but this one in particular is pretty strong. And there's one here as well, which is important. Because this not only confirms what I was thinking, because I'm like, what is this void? There's got to be an explanation. And then after seeing the drone footage and then kind of doing a comparison, that did kind of answer a question. But now having Betty's, I used her footage as well to run it through with the AI. And keep in mind, there's this one. Here's the tree. We've got the 3 trees. So we can kind of orient ourselves here. There's also another gouge here. There's the main one here, which I think is the one that we see in the video. There's also another one here, and then 2 more back on the crown, a little bit further west. But there's 2 reasons this is important. One, it could explain the void, but there's also something else that this could explain, which AI did. So let me read chat for a second. Black Widow, good to see you. Thank you so much for the 26 months. Go Chris and Mob Crew. Oh, thank you so much. Almost 400 people in here. Please hit that like button. I promise you, we got some really good stuff. And new footage. So that's always a bonus. Which maybe something that I'd like to do, but maybe I'll wait till we have more people in here. And yeah. But yeah, we got new footage as well, because of course I'm going through a bunch of security footage, and yeah, I have some ideas about what we could maybe do with it. But I also noticed something else in it. It's not as big, but it just kind of shows how scummy the other side was in a certain individual, and we'll get to that as well. But anyway, let me just quickly let me let this play for a second. I can get everybody. I think I'm in the chat, and Jazz, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the membership, and thank you so much for the $20 super chat. God bless you. KJ Juju, thank you so much for renewing your Mob Crew membership. I appreciate the support, guys. It helped out so much. Okay, just looking at chat. So anyway, there's 2 videos that Betty did, and again, I know it's a little shaky, and she knows it's shaky, but it is nice. Again, I can just slow it down. I don't know if I slowed this one down as much, but I mean, as you can see, as she's kind of waving back and forth, you can just see, like, especially this one. I mean, this is the most pronounced gouge. Anyway, I promise this will be well worth it. So, we talked about this last week, and I think that's when we first discovered it, or the week prior, which I thought was an interesting discover, but because it explains the void and what we're looking at. But when I used Betty's and just a bunch of different stuff here, I ran a report. Oh, what are the gouges from? Oh, great question, Little Red, if you haven't missed it. So it's pretty funny. It's actually not hard to. So it's from this guy. It's probably when he takes in his boat and at high centers, either someone mentioned what it was, and but yeah, it's more or less, high centering or whatever. It's gouging, so you can see, like, you can literally see where it's coming from. It's clearly when either he's taking out his boat or putting it back in. The ball pin or whatever is clearly gouging into it, tearing up the road pretty bad. So that's what we're looking at, Georgia. Hopefully that makes sense. And we are combining that with this void right here, because this void is very pronounced. Keep in mind, we can't see the headlights of the vehicle. I've mentioned this many times, and I wish I'd pull up the example, because we always want to kind of think it's something like this, where there's headlights and then there's something, but the vehicle is being filmed from like a top rear view. So the headlight itself, we only see the tail light and then the reflection on the ground, which is very important. But notice with this example, there's no void. We just see the beam of light, and that's it on the road. This is the reflection on the road, right? There's nothing on that. But this is very important. I'm so glad we actually got a truck, even though I would love to have a small sedan do the same thing. But I'm so glad we have this truck because this will be a great example. So what do we get from this? Which is very interesting. So when running this, the shortened analysis compares the green circled region. So obviously me circling, just showing when the light turned on, which is the test image I call right here, and the crown area. And if anybody doesn't know the crown is obviously the middle of the road here. And so the light is just reflecting onto this pavement where the gouge is at. But what is interesting, oops, wrong report. So I ran this through ChatGPT. So the crown's curvature seen in the pavement supports a possible match. So obviously what I showed it was uploaded different photos, circled. Let's see if I can zoom this in a little bit. But I basically circled the gouges in the crown of the road, and then basically had it see if it could match up and tell me what it thought. And it gave me two interesting answers. One is just as good, if not better, than the other one. Because we already kind of thought this was probably what it was from. But yeah, after running it through ChatGPT, the green circle area as a test image shows a diffuse reflection pattern typical of light scattering or uneven or scratched pavement. The void corresponds to a non-reflective region consistent with the physical gouge. And this is where it gets really interesting. So shape and alignment. When comparing outlines, the reflective void aligns with the gouged area and the crown in both positions in the approximate shape. This part, the lighting behavior. So this was a interesting answer. Oh gosh, I can't see everything. I'm sorry, guys. Move that. But this is the best answer. Lighting behavior. And this totally makes so much sense. Rich and Ruby. Okay. They send me an email or something. Rich and Ruby. Sorry. I know if I start going on, I might forget. Okay, I can't go back up any further. Is it an email? Can somebody let me know in chat? What am I supposed to look at the email? All right, let me read this next thing real quick. Okay, so the lighting behavior, the highlight edges in the test image are consistent with vehicle headlights striking a rough surface at a low angle. At a low angle. And this makes so much sense. Producing a short reflective band, and the band being this, what you're looking at and or in the video. Where's the video? So this is considered a band. So obviously you have the flashlight, you have your light source, and then whatever it illuminates, that's the band. Okay. It's got a short reflective band, but considering it's showing so much. So look how much it's showing. Actually, let me do this. Let me play this. This is so interesting. I was not ready for this results. Okay, give me 1 second. This makes so much sense. This is actually, I kind of freaked out. Oh. So again, that's what we're trying to show. Is it before this? Oh, it's probably before this. I've got so much stuff in here I need to. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, let me pause it right here and you guys will totally see what I'm. Okay, so see the band on our truck example below? Notice we really don't, and keep in mind, we have a camera with our example below, and I will get to Rich and Ruby, but I want to finish this point because it's like the first huge, like, to me, this freaks out. Maybe not as other people, but to me, I think it's freaking huge. Notice that the band, there's not a lot of detail, right? We don't see much. And this camera from this angle is much closer than the one in our 3AM, right? Well, look how much more detail in our band we can see of the pavement. Like we can see the void. We can see this other, which could probably be another part of a gouge where the car's just almost sitting just above it. So that example shows that this car is proves that this car is definitely a shorter. The height of the vehicle is shorter, lower to the ground. Obviously, sedan versus Jeep, truck, even SUV. This more aligns with it being lower to the ground, which would make sense. Your light source lower to the ground is going to illuminate, and not only that, because the light source is coming out at such a lower angle that if you have any indents, that band of light, if there's a void, it's going to pick that up because the light is so much lower. Whereas if you have like a light that's kind of shining more down at an angle, well, it's just going to fill in that void. So you would get this. So if this truck, same truck, were to go over that void, considering it's not like a what's the word I'm looking for? Some kind of ditch, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say. It makes so much sense that if it's lower to the ground, the light source, it's picking up all the data, but then if there's a gouge, even if it's very small, it'll pick that up and disappear because, again, it's lower to the ground. Whereas if you have a light source that's a little bit higher up and the band coming down at an angle, it's just going to pick, more of that road up, even if there is a gouge. Maybe there might be some lighting change on it, but again, it makes so much sense. There is so much more detail compared to our example. Hopefully everybody's getting this, but I freaked out because we have the tail light, which confirms, and we'll get to that point next. I'll stop for check my email. I don't know. Let me see my phone, but hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Because again, we don't have a headlight to examine, right? We can kind of get an estimated length, which still lines up with sedan. So we have that. We have the tail light, which is a LED, which supports, I'll get into that. And now we have this, this other visual reference, which now tells us that this is definitely more of a shorter vehicle with lights, whatever they are, coming from the ground. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm super stoked because I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting it to confirm, yeah, that looks like, the gouge. But for it to explain, yeah, this is probably produced because your light source is coming from at a lower angle. And yeah, that's amazing. Again, I know some of it's redundant, but again, this is like what I have to go to get a report in with all the data as I can. All right, let me check my email real quick, and then again, we haven't even got into the 3D scanner, which will be the big part of the show. I got new footage. Yeah, tons of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any new emails. I'm just checking here. Checking my junk mail. I'm not seeing anything right now, guys. What? Did anybody answer what Rich, no offense to Richard Ruby, I don't know what I'm Oh, he has a channel. Oh, okay, he has a channel. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry, Lynn. I might have been leaning in a little bit. Oh, a new interview? Wait, do we have a new interview? Was he on a channel recently? Yeah, I think it's exciting. Again, for those that have been here with the channel, know what I'm doing. Again, I have to get like data, if that makes sense, guys. And so I need as much data to, if I want to match this vehicle to the 3M and connect all, the kind of the main theory that this Kellen car matches, that is a good possibility to this vehicle. I have to give as much evidence as possible. And so this is exciting because, again, I was just expecting it to tell me about the gouge, but for it to go, yeah, this, having this much detail means your vehicle is much lower to the ground, and that just kind of makes sense, especially when we have this example. So anyway, again, I'm just super stoked on that. And then one more thing, and then we'll get into the 3D scanner because that'll probably be the big highlight of the show. But okay, if they can email me, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing them. I apologize, Richard. Rich and Ruby. It's tough because more people come in here than it's easy to overlook somebody's name. Yeah, if you can email me, could that be possible? I mean, anything's possible, Carrie, but I don't know why it'd be on the grass, to be honest. I don't think it's on the grass. Okay. Has some interesting things. Okay, I have to be careful because I never played any Rich and Ruby's videos, but if there's a video, let me know. My thumbnail says the opposite. I don't know what you mean, Debbie. Be happy to answer any questions. Again, I'm not afraid to hide anything. Again, and I'd rather people peer review my work. Do come up with your own conclusions, right? Again, I don't know anybody else that studies the same 3-minute video for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. No exaggeration. Anyway, but anyway, one more thing, and then we'll get to the 3D scanner because to me that was huge. Anyway, the 3D light, or 3D light. Jeez, I'm combining stuff. I'll check my email in a minute. I am kind of curious to see what they have, but I just don't want to up and stop what I'm doing at the moment. But I am curious. Okay. Oh, I need to pull. Okay, I know what I need to do. 1 second, guys. All right, and then we're gonna get into the 3D scanner, and then after the 3D scanner, I'll stop. And if somebody could tell Rich and Ruby to email me or join the Outlook so I can know where to go, and then I can kind of proofread what is going on. So anyway, so here is this. Oh, oops, wait, oh, hold on. Before we get to that, gosh, I got so much. Okay, here we go. Just to finalize that part of the thing, which is right here. So why is the tail light important to study, right? So we already did temperature analysis on this light here, which is the tail light. We can't see the headlights because the car is cranked at an angle. Okay, I hear my phone going off like crazy, so I'll look at it when I can. Oh, yeah, that's why I was probably waiting. Okay, yeah. Thank you, D. That's exactly why I'm like, yeah. Yep. I've only been doing this for 4 years, guys. Again, I don't know everything, but yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I guess people are bored. We'll have to see. So the second part of this, I guess like evidence doesn't excite them. I guess just, making up shit is better. Anyway, we'll get to that as well. And we'll debunk another thing. So the tail light, we did temperature analysis on it. It comes up between 22 and 2500 Kelvin. Has a red-orange hue, which is consistent with LED light. It can read the temperature. We've gotten temperature from this. Obviously the temperature, because this is a band. I haven't really gone after the temperature of this. This would be kind of interesting. Obviously, since it's coming from, it's not the source of the light and just a reflection, obviously the effect. Doing a temperature analysis isn't really going to help us identify other than the fact of what we just did with the pavement. But anyway, what's interesting about LED taillights, just to get to the point. Well, LED taillights, especially taillights, have not really been used except for, as you can see, luxury sedans from 2008 and beyond. But they weren't really common for like just regular mid-size sedans for like Honda, you name it, Honda Accord, Camry, Sonata. So they weren't really used. They were using halogen lights. It looks like in the mid 2000 teens they started switching to the LEDs, and then it wasn't until 2016 and beyond where they started doing full LED assemblies, headlights and taillights. So that is very important. Why? Because when we do an analysis test with the temperature, it comes up as an LED light, tail light. So that tells us that whatever this is most likely a post 2015 sedan, which with added that we have the approximate distance, which is about 14 to 16 feet, mid-size sedan. Now we have also the front with the reflection telling us that it is low to the ground sedan. So now we have more evidence to put this all together to try to build this in as a likely candidate of, gosh, I've got so much footage of it could be in this 3AM Kellen car. Wow, what a surprise. We have basically two vehicles at night. One we know of, the DoorDash, and one we don't know. So yeah. All right, I'm going to get to the 3D scanner. Yeah, I have no idea. Some people are... I don't know this Richard and Ruby. No offense to them. But, yeah, I'm not just going to play somebody's video I'm not familiar with. Yeah. Anyway. Yes, I did see that Doodle Mom. We will go over that because I love Silvers. And as a matter of fact, I just spoke to him. But I promise you, we got some more interesting stuff. But so there's that part there. All right, so let's get on to the next one. Oops. Actually, let me just minimize this one. All right, let's get to... Okay, the 3D scanner comes third. Okay, hit that like button. I got one other thing real quick, and then we have the 3D scanner. I want to kind of go in order here so I don't back up. And that way I can give me a break. So we're gonna listen to Crispy for a second.
Get the feel correcting the mis.
It's about.
So of course we debunked.
To go ahead and tell you that the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong.
Yeah, mark this.
they can correct it. Sure, go ahead and correct it. I'm kind of, they searched and everything and correct it. Sure, go ahead and correct it. I'm kind of torn. I don't really know. Oh my God. It's awesome. But lately, from what I've been hearing and seeing, the due process over 10 times from various groups. And I'm talking anything.
Because that's how,
I mean, you name it, they search.
So whatever.
You've got all these creators out there that do nothing but just go at each other, and they're causing a bunch of drama.
Yeah, here it is.
It's about.
Okay, so I wanted to play this clip because I think it's hilarious. This is back in 2024, so this is early on, and this is Crispy. This is before he switched from, this guy taking out his trash can, which we just debunked, the last 2 weeks. With this video here showing how ridiculous if a guy was walking down his trash can. Again, there's a reason why Pedro was doing Morse code, because you got all these damn trees in the way. So, yeah. But I want to play this part because Crispy actually tells on himself, and it's hilarious. I found this clip, and I just had to play this. And then we'll get to the 3D scanner.
50. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If people have information that they know is false and they can't correct it, sure, go ahead and correct it. I'm kind of torn. I don't really know. Oh my God! Keeping Sebastian's name out there, and notice I said Sebastian's name, not mine, Katie's, and Seth, and anybody else's. If you keep Sebastian's name out there, that's awesome. But lately, from what I've been hearing and seeing,
it's
not about Sebastian. Oh my God!
Yeah, Alan, I'm glad you said that. So the lights it's saying is the LED lights basically start coming in. So you can see, so it even says, what'd you say, 2013? So even right here, a mix of halogen and LED in the 2000 to 2015, 2013, 2015. So you can tell that at least ChatGPT at least knows a little bit about what it's talking about, because right there you just explained it's got the halogen bulbs and the LED in the back. So, yeah. Thank you, Alan, for that comment.
About, which I think is funny. I think you call her Butterhead.
Butterhead.
Or cellulitis.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Face or some shit.
No, Crater Face is Betty.
Well, now her name
is
okay. Now her name is Louise.
Louise, yeah. Louise, sorry, Louise.
You've got all these creators out there that do nothing but just go at each other, and they're causing a bunch of drama, and it's like, I don't.
Okay, this is only a 5-minute clip, maybe less. He's going to talk about the lights. Now, this is before he switched his gears, but it's so funny because he actually tells on himself, and he actually spits out the truth, which is hilarious. And it's kind of funny
what that does for any cases, and to be true crime. The drama is not part of true crime, I don't believe.
Right, but you go on Drama Channel.
Things that can be proven, not the rest of it. I just. Oh my God! Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think.
1,200. This fan is asking, is there anything to the lights at 3 a.m. and was there a car?
I'm taking this as in reference to the Mob Cruise video.
Yeah, the one he's.
And there is a.
Argue that.
Trying to think. He's got that run that he likes to do.
The Naruto run.
He's grown out and he doesn't.
Wait, did I put this after?
Answer, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, here it is. Okay, it's in this one. I'm sorry. I was playing the wrong clip.
I just don't want to do drama. I like facts.
It's not drama. I mean, trust me. I'll let you know if we can go down the road or not. I mean,
that's been debunked. Gray Hughes did this. This is
okay. Yeah, here it is.
Drama. I mean, trust me. I'll let you know if we can go down the road or not. I mean,
no, I want to know, because, okay, I'm just fascinated by what we have and what we don't have, right? And so when you go down and you look at that footage, it looks like it cuts through the neighborhood, but because it's not like an aerial, it's from somebody's point of view that we see that camera footage, correct?
Are you talking about the one footage that everybody says was flashlight?
Yes.
With the lights?
Yes.
Yes. Right here, you mean right here? These lights here?
Correct.
Yes, that's been debunked. Gray Hughes did this. This is his video, but he debunked it with Chris. Him and Chris both did.
Okay, so basically that's just the garbage truck because it's in the middle of the night. Okay. Did they really come that early in the morning?
Okay, I just want to say in chat, I'm looking at Rich and Ruby. It doesn't look like their looks like their stuff's legit, unless I'm missing something. Because I want to be fair to them. Because I don't want them to be new in chat and then we run them out. Yeah, I don't think they're. Yeah, again, I don't want to play the audio right now, but it looks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why people would say fake or fraud though. So I don't know. I'm going to be careful on that. Anyway, let's get back to. I apologize to Rich and Ruby. If I get time after, I will look at their channel and then because I don't want people to run them out if they're legit. But I don't. I usually my chat doesn't say people are fake unless they have a reason to. So I don't know. Anyway, listen to what Chris says right here. He gets asked about the 3M lights. Now, keep in mind this is before they switched over to the whole stupid Pedro taking out his trash can. But it's funny because he slips up right here and he accidentally tells the truth, and I think it's hilarious.
Your house. I mean, it's like ridiculous if that's the truth.
Okay, so countries.
So,
Okay,
no, it's not ridiculous. You got to understand something. We're not in a city.
Right, they're outside of town.
So I live outside of city limits.
Yeah, you're not in Davidson County, right? Yeah.
No, I'm in Sumner County.
Yeah.
Please don't jeopardize Sumner and Davidson is the same county. God, please don't.
Oh, come on now, don't do
No,
that.
we'll get to the 3D right after this.
I know the difference. I know the difference.
My father lives in Davidson County, so
Yeah.
I've lived there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to Hunter's Lane.
Yeah, I like that
I'm
answer.
scared to say it.
You went to Hunter's Lane?
Yes, sir. City limits. We don't have city garbage trucks. You has a good proportion of the county that do get to all of the routes they have to get to in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when he was still telling people it was garbage truck, and you heard them just before where he's saying, yeah, it was Queen. I think he's on Queen Bee maybe because Queen Bee's in there, and I think Clue's in there as well. But Queen says, yeah, Gray Hughes debunked it. I've shown you guys. If you ever seen his thumbnail, it's ridiculous. Anyway.
So I mean, it's common to see them out that early.
Okay. So this is 100% garbage, nothing else at all.
What? That's a garbage truck?
Yes. Yes.
It is absolutely a garbage truck.
Okay. Now listen. All right. So this is when he was back saying, it's a garbage truck, right? Now this is funny because Pedro asks a deeper question, I think. And it's funny because Crispy actually, he gets caught
Okay.
here. It's funny.
I just want to know. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it looks a little bit like, people, I thought was somebody walking their dog. That made more sense to me. In the middle of the night, somebody work early and go out walk their dog. But of course, I believe you. So
here's the one element about that video that most people haven't thought about, that me and Gray looked this over and I told him, so where that camera footage was taken from, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you look where you see that flashing light at the top,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's on another road up on the very top of a hill. That's not even in our subdivision. Now everybody's like, well, you can't. No, there's no way. Actually, if you think about when this was taken, there was no leaves on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love this explanation. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little too close to the mic. I love this explanation he's already given. Sounds so stupid because, when we broke down, like, how ridiculous this is. Okay, yeah, even if it is fall, well, let's look at it when it's fall. Well, you still couldn't see because that road that he's talking about. Are you kidding me? You think lights are coming through that? Get out of here. I mean, unless it's like something, it's got some major lumens on it. But anyway, of course, we already know this is ridiculous. And we've already debunked this. But I want you to listen because he actually tells the truth and slips up here, and it's hilarious.
So nothing had blossomed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see clear up on that ridge line, that road. I mean, you can see the houses. And he picked up the trash, he went through it, turned around and went right back through it.
Is it cut down, this version, or is there like a better version of this that you've seen, or is it the same?
All right, so the video that you guys see is...
Now keep in mind, this is where it got kind of confusing because I've heard this before, and, I didn't think much of it because it gets kind of confusing because he starts talking about something else, and I'll show it on screen here. So I make it like very obvious about which camera he's talking about at which time, because he kind of, I know that they, I know how Chris likes to be, but here again, he literally slips up here. So he's going to start talking about this camera, but then he's going to talk about the garbage truck that was captured on the home across from them. And then he finishes with something where he literally slips up.
Actually, a video clip that Nick Burris took, okay, of a video. It's the upper right-hand corner of the actual video. It's not even the whole video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not seeing everything that's in the picture. You're only seeing the upper right-hand corner.
Well, I mean, if this is the only thing moving and they're tiny little dots, I mean, I think you'd probably want to zoom in for your viewers, or you're going to be like, hey, look at these guys. And you guys, you know, a lot of people are on their phones, you know, watching this stuff, and they'd be like, what the hell am I looking at? Right. So, yeah, of course he's going to zoom in. Anyway, I think it's ridiculous because what he's going to say here just also shows like how uncomfortable or deceptive he is.
Yeah.
And then they zoomed in to blow it up to make it look like it's this big, huge thing. It's really not.
Again, your child, or I don't want to say your child, but Seth's child just went missing, and you're not even a little concerned about it.
It's truly not.
So that's why it looks like you're... Yeah, sorry.
Clue has seen our subdivision. She could tell you, you know, where the camera was. No, it's not. You're not seeing the whole video.
Yeah.
No, he just he just made it really one section of it kind of crazy. Just to start some drama.
He clipped parts that had meat to it. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because it doesn't give that full picture and it tells not the right story, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, if you have nothing else going on in the picture, then anyway.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's why that caused so much uproar, just because the way he cut that video and presented it and was breaking news. It's like, it's not.
Well, yeah, you're on news. You've got he's probably got a small segment. Again, I'm not local to Tennessee or, you know, that area with Nick Barris, but obviously I'm sure he's got his little section and he can only fit so much in. So it's not like us YouTubers, we have all the freedom in the world and explain things. He's just got to, you know, cut up a little, you know, clip. Anyway.
Not breaking news, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no video out there that got released to anybody that me and Katie and Seth haven't already seen.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that.
Well, on that, in the beginning, especially, my biggest thing is there's just no way that the camera didn't pick him up. But then I have to ask myself, is there any camera footage of the trash truck coming up?
Sorry, this is a little bit longer. I thought I'd cut this up, but here it is. It's coming. It's this last 2 minutes, less than that.
Down the road. And the reason I ask is if there's not, then that would make sense to me that he could walk down the road and not set off one of the ring cams. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I can tell you this much, that yes, there is video footage of the trash truck picking up our trash.
Oh, gotcha.
And you can see the outline of the truck. I can't give you the time, but I can tell you that much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now,
even though you know kind of when your garbage truck, why can't you just say when your garbage truck? I'm sure it's there between 5 and 5:20 pretty much every Monday, right?
This neighborhood is so dark.
Yeah.
They've actually tried to go back and reproduce some of the camera footages.
I just thought about that comment right there, because this is definitely a couple months into the case. Yeah, because that comment right there is actually very interesting, and probably lead into my 3D scanner thing. Anyway, that is very interesting, the way he just said that. I just want to hear that one more time. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
And you can see the outline of the truck. I can't give you the time, but I can tell you that much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, this neighborhood is so dark.
Yeah.
They've actually tried to go back and reproduce some of the camera footages.
Okay, here it is.
And they've actually had law enforcement walk in front of certain cameras, and they didn't even pick them up because it's dark. So dark. Yeah.
It's probably all.
Notice how he's so negative and so opposite. Not, what's the word? Oh gosh, my dyslexic mind. It's right there on my tongue. He's being pessimistic, the opposite pessimistic. Of
Also
course,
depends on the phase of the moon at that time, because the moon, it like if it was like full, it's going to give more light than if it's a night without the moon.
Well, and to the question or to the statement about the trash truck was caught.
Okay, here it is. This is where he tells on him. He literally slips up.
Can you say if it was or wasn't a motion activated camera that caught it?
Yes, it was. It was my neighbor's camera across the street.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you that. That's nothing new. I mean, that is the camera
right here.
But you're thinking about a truck versus like a person.
My question's more: was it something that was recording all the time, or did it detect the motion of the truck, or do you know, or can you even say? Questions in one there.
So I can't really disclose what kind of camera system he has.
So notice how now he says he has. So he's talking about this camera, because I know when you refer to he or she, the he is this, the guy with the boat, or she is the neighbor across the street. So let me just back this up so you guys get the full context right here, because this is important, because I listed this probably multiple times. I only caught it earlier today or yesterday.
Thinking about a truck versus like a person.
My question's more: was it something that was recording all the time, or did it detect the motion of the truck, or do you know, or can you even say? Questions in one there.
So I can't really disclose what kind of camera system he has. That's not fair.
No,
especially not without having his permission.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, his camera's the one that picked up the footage stuff that people have talked about being leaked, minus the trash truck that came from a totally different house.
Okay.
Oh wait! What did he just say? Let's rewind that one more time. Because, he started talking about both cameras there, and then, he's referring to he, and so you don't know, we were just talking about the neighbor across the street now, but yeah, listen to this.
But, I mean, his camera's the one that picked up the footage stuff that people have talked about being leaked, minus the trash truck that came.
Minus the trash truck. See how he just accidentally, I think when he, yeah, my dyslexic mind will start jumbling stuff up. But anyway, but do you notice how he just literally accidentally told the truth? Because I think he's just kind of running with it. And now he literally just said, yeah, minus the trash truck on his camera. But you were just telling them the entire time, these lights come from a trash truck. Do you guys see what I'm saying? It's hilarious.
So I can't really disclose what kind of camera
so
system
funny.
he has. That's not fair.
No,
especially not without having his permission.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, his camera's the one that picked up the footage stuff that people have talked about being leaked, minus the trash truck that came from a totally different house.
Okay.
Oops.
You ruined it.
What?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I paused it right after she said ruined it, but that's hilarious. Yeah. Again, I think that's because he's now just kind of, going a little bit faster. He's already got his bullshit out, and then, someone's asked him a question, and he starts just kind of going, and then I'm sure that just, just honestly came out. One of the few things he tells that are actually honest, but I think it's funny as hell. Because I've heard that before, but when he's kind of mentioning he or they've been just talking about two different cameras, I never kind of I was kind of thinking, oh well, maybe he's trying to mention the other one, but he's literally referring to this one minus the garbage truck. So I think that's hilarious. Even though I know technically now he's changed his story now to the trash guy walking out, but I think that's hilarious. Yeah. Right, because he kind of gets going, and then then he kind of spilled the beans. All right, now let's get to the 3D scanner. Yeah, I don't want to keep this discussion in the chat much, but I'll look into Rich and Ruby on my own time, just to make sure, and then we can just not, I'll check it out, and then we'll talk about it next time. because I want to give them benefit of the doubt and whoeverybody else, but I don't want to do it live. And yeah.
So yes, it could play a role.
So many are, of course, closely following this case. How difficult has it?
Okay, so this was something I talked about at the beginning. Hey, puppy love. So very interesting. This 3D scanner. Again, this is something, as I said at the beginning of the show. And let me know in the chat. We've covered true crime on this channel for, I think, over 3 years. I have never seen, except for one other case, and we've covered a lot of missing. We've covered true crime cases, some older, some more newer or more recent. But I have never seen a 3D scanner used in a missing child's case, ever. Typically commonly known for vehicle reconstruction. Now, let's see, which one should I do? And we'll give you the answer first, and then we'll show you what they do, which is really cool. So give me just a second here. There we go. So I had brought this up a lot, God, feels like over a year ago, because I thought it was very interesting. You know, I'm like, because I saw that device, I'm just like, you know, at first when I saw that, I thought that was like maybe a level, but I'm like, God, that's a huge level. And then, of course, when I did more research, I discovered it's I don't know if it's a Faro brand, because Faro looks like a little bit meatier, wider. But it's basically, it's a 3D scanner, laser scanner. And I'll show you what it does, an example of it. It's neat as hell. So I asked it, you know, well, again, never heard of this being used in a missing person's case, period. And I said, okay, you know, without being too specific, I just said, what could be used in as far as Sebastian Rogers' case, without giving it anything else? Just asked it, what could it be used for? And here are the three really main: crime scene documentation, accident crash reconstruction, which when you look these things up, that's what you get most of, but I know they're using them for crime scene as well. Example would be the Brian Koper case, where before they tore down the house, they did a 3D scan of it, so that way they could, you know, if we actually did have a trial, they could go and, you know, when they're pointing out evidence, they could, you know, have an expert come on and discuss the 3D. And then search and rescue missing person. But what would it be used in? And it says map large outdoor areas, wooded, uneven terrain. But we know they didn't do that. Document search zones, property perimeters. Now that sounds a little bit more plausible. Potential evidence like footprints, drag marks, disturbed soil. Or map inside houses or yards. And then also it could be used for courtroom, because then you have literally, when you scan this thing, maybe I should do the video first before we get to the very, very interesting results that I got from Chat GPT, but I'll just pull up one little video here. We'll just watch like 2-3 minutes. These things are absolutely amazing. But what would they have to do with Sebastian's case? Let's find one that. Oh, and they're used for construction too. That's the other one, construction. A lot of construction workers use these. Yeah, something for there. Okay, this will work. Okay. But we'll play this just so you can kind of see, if you guys haven't ever seen what these can do. It's absolutely amazing. So you have the person with the device, And so it'll scan, and it's literally just taken thousands of images, just and you're going to see them use it. And it's going to do like a 3D. I don't know if you have to do a 3D or just you have a particular area, but as you can see, it's just sitting there scanning, and it's literally taking pictures, and it's basically mapping out a 3D area of the thing that you're trying to use this device on. And that way, then I'm sure you have a program that it has, or multiple different programs, where after it does a 3D scan, you can go in there virtually, look at it, move around. And that way you're preserving, say if it's a crime scene, you preserve the crime scene of what maybe footprints may or may not be there. But now they even have where they have the headsets where you can actually go in and actually have virtual reality, which is pretty amazing. And so you can actually put on the headset and then walk through a virtual crime scene. And it would look something like this. See if this one has it. I had the perfect video where they were showing the actual virtual headset. So that's what they're used for. So again, never have I seen a missing persons case where one of these are being used, but it's the position of where they're at that is interesting, that it caught my attention before. Your mic is cringe. Your mic is cringe. So if you guys don't know where they're sitting at, they're sitting right behind the Proudfoot's home and Carr's home. They're right in between both. Let me pull up this. Now, of course, we can't go in between the 2 yards, but they're literally, so we got Carr's home here, and we have the Stink Feet's home here. And they are literally... down this one here. See if I go to the other date. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, you can see the two fence lines. So they have like, I don't know, what, maybe 2 to 4 feet, 2 feet, I don't know, 3 to 5 feet, where they each have their yards separate from each other. I'm not sure how wide it is, but anyway, both detectives, you can see, and I'm kind of curious on who's the other people in this, because we have Mr. Snuggle Struggle Craddock here, and it makes me wonder if this is TBI along with them, because we've kind of heard that there's, some, I don't want to say conflict, but different points of view from each of these people. Oh, yeah, they're saying my mic is cringe. Anyway, it's cheap, so, nah. Anyway, it's just adults being children, I guess. I guess that's supposed to hurt my feelings, but anyway, I don't know. So again, we have Craddock, and they're literally in the yard, and if you can look, they've got the device pointed. What direction? Pointing south. So there's it zoomed in, and that is definitely a 3D scanner. You can even see where it goes into the tripod, where it allows it. You have this rod, I guess it would be, where it allows it to do the 3D scan. But you can see that they are focused looking south. That's very important. And again, kind of think about like where they're at, like, right? Like, why there, right? Why not in the front yard? Never seen this device anywhere else except here. Not to say they haven't put it anywhere else, but yeah. So here's another look. And then I asked ChatGPT about this. Yeah, why would they need a 3D scanner there? Right, exactly. Again, these things are most commonly used, and these are pretty expensive. I spoke to someone, and I remember this is when I first discovered this. I'm like, these aren't cheap. Like, not all departments even have these. And it's not like they have each officer has one. They probably have one per department. I don't know, maybe one or, again, these are very expensive devices. Probably one of many reasons why we don't see them in a lot of cases that we've covered so far. Anyway, but why would they use something so big in this? So expensive, very expensive. Yeah, so here you go. So I asked ChatGPT. And okay, so I'm going to let this read and I'm going to blow it up. But the answer to this, it doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, let's just read the whole thing out. I was going to have it read out so I could just check chat for a second.
Yes, based on your map layout, orientation, and the positioning you described, the scanner placement and direction absolutely makes sense for the type of forensic documentation that would be done following the 3 a.m. lights incident. Here's a detailed breakdown of how it lines up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is the perfect spot. So I asked it, after I asked it, what would you use this for, right? Oh, I did skip a little bit. Okay. So I told you guys I usually use it for accident and construction, some crime scenes. And again, this is the first time for the search a missing persons case. Talks about how it's used, and then I told it details about where it's at, and then I told it about the 3 a.m. lights moving back and forth. And then I said, would it make sense that this device could be used in a way that if you've got, again, moving lights and you have a camera that captured something that obviously was in the common area, get over it, it's in the common area. And again, you don't know the exact position because obviously even I can kind of have the AI try to give me an estimate of how far away. I mean, we can match how fast these subjects were going, not to an exact speed, but an approximate speed based on the frames and everything else in the background. But, to get an exact position, you would need something else. Well, it just so happens by using one of these 3D scanners and you have it scanning the yard in which these 3 lights are moving, well, then you get this. Let's see, is this the first one? Yeah. I'm just going to have it read it so that way it can read chat.
Perfect. Here's how investigators and forensic video analysts typically align a 3D laser scan with security camera footage to analyze movement, light sources, or line of sight. This is, yes, based on your map layout, orientation, and the positioning you described, the scanner placement and direction absolutely makes sense for the type of forensic documentation that would be done following the 3 a.m. lights incident. Here's a detailed breakdown of how it lines up. 1. Scanner placement and direction. The scanner setup at Townsend 8 Stafford CT, oriented southward, would have had a clear line of sight toward the area where subjects 1 and 2 were seen moving between yards. Even though it was opposite of the light's apparent travel direction,
this is important.
East, this is actually ideal. The scanner's line of sight would cover the entire field where movement occurred. 2. Purpose of this orientation. By scanning from that position, investigators could digitally capture the terrain and house spacing between 1008 Stafford and the area south toward Kellen Lynn.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it, read out right there. God, I hope it doesn't go back. I'm going to be so mad because it doesn't have a pause button. So basically it says, yes, what you would do is obviously, because you have the footage from here, so you would scan in the area, obviously, that the camera's pointing to. So basically what it's doing is now it's going to create a 3D reconstruction, because obviously it'll, they're about here. It's scanning all of this. And I'm sure, obviously, we just see it here, but I'm sure they probably even moved. They could have already been over here and then just made their way further back. I'm sure they probably did that. But basically, yes, they get the other side and basically where they think the lights are coming from. And then they put all that data together.
Yes, based on your map layout, orientation, and the positioning you described.
Okay, I love ChatGPT. I wish I could fix where it reads. But anyway. But yeah, it basically explains, yes, this is what it'd most likely be used for. I can't say 100%, but this, and it makes total sense because it'll tell you at the end here. But yeah, you would use it on the opposite side, or basically where you think those objects are moving, right? And then it does a 3D model, so it can get the measurements of everything that this video, is in the subject video, right? So yeah. Even though it's the car, but obviously, so this camera is pointing northwest, or northwest, whatever. And your movement's more to the north. You would then put your 3D scanner in that area if that's where you think it's coming from. So this not only confirms that this is likely where we knew the lights were the entire time, but again, they just from the footage themselves, they would not be able to really discern exactly where it's like, the distance and measurements basically, right? Because they kind of have an idea of where the lights are coming from, but especially if they're going to use this in a court and if they're trying to figure this all out, well, you would need something like this 3D scanner. And then what's pretty cool when getting a little bit more information is, so you get all these coordinate points, and then there's obviously programs, which you would then feed the video into the program into your 3D scan, and it knows the full, so obviously it knows the camera, it knows the field of view it has, it knows where it's shot from, so the computer does all the work, and basically it now, I wish I would have left that 3D image up. Let me pull that back up. Does it put me to this? Why does it do that? One of these links, it just takes me to a video. What is it? How to get car insurance. That's great. Yeah, car insurance. Let's see, I think we did this one. Where's the really cool one? Anyway, we'll just use, I just want to take an example. Give me an outside one. There we go. Oh, no, pause. So anyway, let's just say this is the backyard, right? And the lights are moving left to right. This is probably the worst example, but anyway, you guys get the idea. So this, obviously, this 3D scan. Now, with it scanning from the other side, now at least you have the measurements of the environment that these lights are moving. When that feeds in the video, and now it knows the video's field of view, and then it just, again, it's just mathematics. Math is great. So science, and basically put all that together, and it just basically will put in where it, to its best ability, where those lights are most likely coming from, which again, we pretty much know, but now you just have further evidence, because again, if you just have these lights without much, and remember, we have this stupid timestamp that is, strangely frozen. But if you now have the 3D scanner, it's just more evidence to build a case that, yeah, these lights likely came from Sebastian Rogers' home. And then there's one light running back to it. And now with this 3D scan, you can now show that with more, with another source, which again, with the 3D scanner. Because again, let me know in the chat. I've never seen 3D scanner ever used, not to say it hasn't ever been used in missing persons, but, you know, without some kind of foul play or something. Thanks, Sassy. Sorry, I got a little too ahead of myself. There's so much, but it's very interesting. So I'm going to let that play. So I've got some new unseen footage, and I've got the cars. But I'm going to read chat for a minute. I know, Laura. I feel you. Believe me, I feel you. Oh, I feel it. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I told you guys, and I hope everyone's listening. I'm going to put this all together. I've mentioned this for a couple months now, and I've got the reports. Yeah, so basically, which we'll put out on Twitter, and it'll be sent to some other places as well. But as you can see, I've got the reports.
I don't want Sebastian to get lost in it, but if
yes, CC, yes, that's another thing. I'm so glad you brought that up, CC. Such a great question, right? Because whatever this 3D scan takes is obviously, you know, I don't think it was there on the first, and this was what's interesting, is I don't think this thing was seen until like the first week or so he went missing. I know, but I tried to find the original footage, and I couldn't find it. I know like Court TV, it's seen like a month later, and I know they just took some B-roll footage from a news channel. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Patty, so much. I appreciate that, PayPal. God bless you. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But anyway. Oh, no way. That is interesting. And I know hindsight, they're really good at cataloging events for this case. That is very interesting. Wow. So it kind of shows you, I think, in my opinion, I'm sure they'd seen probably that footage of the lights moving probably within the first 24 hours. But I'm sure because, you know, they had many other footage to probably go over as well. And they had a search they were going on, you know. I'm sure a lot of this stuff was coming in sporadically. Or probably not sporadically, but yeah, either way, chaotically, however you want to put it. So it makes sense that within about a week or within a week that they come back with a device like this. And again, why here, right? Thank you, Sassy. Yeah. Oh. Exactly, Lauren. Or Lori. I'm sorry, Lori. Yeah, I speak to many mothers and they all say the same thing. They would be out there every day until their baby's back. Good to see you, lady. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, that is very interesting. And yeah, because I was trying to find the original footage from this because I know it was around like the week 1 area. August, or what was the date? Day 5. I think it was in the first week. But either way, yeah, March 8th. So I'm hearing 8th. So somewhere between the 8th, the 4th, and the 8th, because 4 days. Yeah, somewhere in there. But anyway, yeah, I think they definitely found something. Obviously, probably more with this 3D this 3M video. And then to me, this also, it would be nice to know. I don't know if anybody could say. I'd be curious if anybody can identify. I mean, we know who this idiot is. But I'd be curious to know, is this TBI? And it makes me wonder, is this like TBI doing it? And like, Sumner County, there's, Snuggle Struggles sitting there probably, overwatching this, but, probably not happy with it. But anyway, yeah, very interesting results from ChatGPT, and that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to do a little bit more questioning on that. But again, it'd be nice to know. I want to do a little bit more research, like how, because again, this isn't a device. We could probably even look up, like, I mean, maybe it's changed, but how many departments actually have like a 3D scanner like this? Because I remember when I asked Jennifer Coffindeffer, she was kind of like, she's never seen anything like this used before. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, it just makes you wonder, like, why? And again, it's an expensive device. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. 2 more subjects. Well, we've got new footage at the end. I'm going to play the car. So, within the last, week, we came across a new car. If you haven't seen it.
We couldn't. It's that dark in the neighborhood.
Got it. So, I guess then you'd, to be 100% sure, it sounds like, from what you're saying. And I would.
Yeah, let me turn him down for a minute. But if you have missed this, originally we knew of a car on the 26th at 3 a.m. and one after he went missing on the 27th at 3:15. But now getting new footage, there's this car at midnight, right at 12:15. Again, it's weird. It's either 3 a.m. or on the 15-minute mark, which is weird. They take the same exact route. The only difference is this one does this one does a U-turn, while the 26th and the 27th do 3-point turns. That's the only difference. But I was able to run this, all 3 vehicles, through ChatGPT, and they are all the same vehicle. The only reason the 26th and the 27th look slightly different is, and here's the 27th. And notice the only difference between this one is it looks like it's got 2 headlights there. And that can be easily explained, and I'll show you guys here in just a minute. But yeah, I was able to further analyze this. But one other interesting thing that, because again, I've got so much going on, is, let's see, is that the slow? So here's the slow motion of the 15th. And each night, the lighting's more or less the same, but it's interesting because this car actually, there's some frames of this car that can be seen better than other frames on the other nights. So I may do another rim, hubcap/rim enhancement and see if I can come up with the same results. Just to make sure. But anyway, here's all 3 cars, and they all do the same thing. There's all three. The only difference with the 27th is that, go back to the 27th. The only difference with that one, I guess I should just show when all three cars are on, but there it is. Oh. It is tough to go back because I've got like over hour footage. And so, anyway, if you notice, the only difference between the other cars is that it looks like it's got two headlights. All that is fog lights. And I know we've already kind of talked about that, but that is the same exact car. The tail lights, if we match up the tail lights to all of them, which we've done overlays before, they're all three the same car. So again, it goes to the question, is this a DoorDash driver? Again, the only thing open after midnight is a BP, so you could order some gas station food. I don't think BP is like a 7-Eleven or, it doesn't like have hot food. I don't think. I don't know. But yeah, no fast food. And this car has not been seen since. Nobody knows it in the neighborhood. A lot of people on this street know each other or, talk to each other, more or less. Nobody knows about this car. And as far as I know, it has not been seen since that first week, we'll say, that he went missing, or around the, first 5 days, whatever. I don't know what happened before that car could have been seen, but again, no explanation for it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I would hope so, Alyssa. But again, they used him in Michael's case. Again, I'm not saying they haven't been used in true crime. I'm just saying, like, the cases we've covered, I've never seen them, and I know they're like expensive. And yeah, maybe they'll be more common, and hopefully they are, because I'm sure that obviously, you can preserve a crime scene. That's great. But long story short, the question is why the hell is it being used in that position in a missing child's case? Right? So anyway. But yeah, I hope they are more normal, but certainly first time other than the Brian Cobert case I can think of. Okay, so now some new footage. I know, I am super curious as well. Could it be them? They show up a day before he goes missing. They're there on the night he goes missing at 3 a.m. And then they're there one more night after he went missing. And then on the 28th, we have what neighbors in the people in the neighborhood claim is an undercover SUV taking that same exact route at about that same exact time. So did they go back to this footage that I've got and see that, oh yeah, there's this vehicle that keeps showing up at odd hours. I wonder why, right? And literally taking the same exact route. Not only does it go up kill him, but it literally, that SUV, the undercover SUV, literally goes down Devon. So I don't know, pretty wild. Okay, so I got one last thing, new footage, and then an announcement I'll make. Where maybe we can have more people help me with surveillance, but I have to get it approved. Because there's a lot of surveillance to go over. And I'm trying to think of a way that, because, I'm all about transparency. And if it were up to me, but, we have to protect the privacy of these people that live here as well. But for the most part, there's a lot of footage that in my opinion, could be released if it's released in a right form, where I could release like 6 hours. Oh, and there's the undercover SUV. So there's that one on day 2, I guess it would be considered, on the 28th. Okay. Let me get to the memberships real quick here. That's so weird. I wonder why it doubles up like that. Oh, thank you, Kiki. I appreciate that. God bless you. I don't know if I said this before, but thank you, Melanie Flowers, for the 6 months. God bless. And we've got Mist Moonlight. Hopefully, is it Misty Moonlight? I can't. I think I see an I in there. Sorry, it's a little small where I'm at. Let me go back. It is Misty. Okay, there is an I in there. Misty, thank you so much for gifting 5 Mob Crew memberships. That is so sweet. God bless you. If you can, if you do get gifted a membership, if you could thank that person, that'd be awesome. But so yeah, what do you guys think? Again, I'd have to get some. Yeah, exactly, color. Because unlike the other side, I think transparency is the best policy in this case, right? But I'm going to show you just how scummy a certain fish sticks individual is. Because again, like I said, I have to be careful. But obviously, it's not a... Oh, the vehicle comparison report. God, I got so much. Is there anything in that I want to go over? Yeah, let's see. What time did we start? Okay, yeah, we'll probably just keep this. But anyway, I got a report as well from ChatGPT. Basically, where I've shown it clips from each 3 nights, and it basically says, yeah, it's the same car. And again, the only difference with the 27, it has its fog lights on, which also helps narrow down the vehicle, which is likely a Honda Accord 2016, 2017, because of the position of the fog lights, which obviously most fog lights with sedan like that are there, but it just helps. So I think the undercover SUV is, they probably saw this footage, or at least some of this, and saw this unknown vehicle, and then they're probably, and again, especially if it came after he went missing, and if it was involved, then I think they're probably trying to retrace the steps. What are they, what is this car doing up Kellen? What is its purpose? Again, is it hacking Wi-Fi? Is it looking for Wi-Fi? Is it just looking, what is the lighting up here? Who's home? Who's awake? They could have been doing dry runs to see, make notes of each home, maybe probably film, maybe, who knows if it was them, I don't know if they'd film, but maybe they're taking notes, that they could destroy and say, okay, these are the lights that are on. These are the cameras we see. And yeah, just scouting. So, let me... So, here's some new footage. Well, it's part new footage and part scene footage, but I just want to play this, and I hope some of the other side's in here, so I can just tell you how scummy Fish Sticks is. And I mentioned this over base... What is today? God, nearly a year ago, I mentioned this. Yeah, we got the best mods. So this is on the night he disappeared. Now, I'm sure most of you remember when Fish Sticks did the scummiest thing that I consider ever happen in true crime history, in my opinion. I just don't know a scummier thing that's ever been done, and that's to fake, claiming that Sebastian may be in a video and you have this footage and hyping it up, and then you release it, and then of course we find out, oh, it's the guy, within 30 minutes of that video or that first post, I knew exactly what it was. So here's this footage that he had that I'm going to show you guys. Thank you so much, Sunmare's Army. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. This is, and I'll zoom in just a minute. This is on the night he went missing at 12:12. Now, I don't know if I zoom in when he turns on his lights, but the homeowner that's going to walk his dog turns on his lights. Now, I'm showing you this because there was something else he left out purposely that I haven't got a chance to look at. And I just knew it was there. And I just want to show you how scummy this piece of garbage. I just want to use every curse word in the book right now to describe him. And again, remember who hired him. So it's not just him. It's the people attached to him. So, as you guys know, Fish Sticks released that thing on the anniversary trying to claim, oh, Sebastian seen hiding behind a car, when really it's just a guy walking his dog. So here is the full footage of the guy walking his dog. You are looking at it now. So at 12... Oh, where did I write the timestamps? At 12:12, this is it. Okay, I figured I zoomed in. So at 12:12, now this is zoomed in, but yeah, it is. It's the worst. There's no worse thing that. How do you fake on an anniversary something like that? It's so disgusting. So here at 12:12 on the night he disappeared, neighbor's light turns on. Right? We've shown this. We talked about this. You can even see the guy. It's obviously it's super grainy, but you can see a guy and what appears to be a dog. Now he's going to go up Devon, so we can't really see much, right? So we're going to fast forward. And fast forward. Now, at some point, you can start to see some movement because obviously he's coming back down Devon, and he's going to come back down Kellen. But there's something that Fish Sticks left out, and this is why I want to put this out here, because I just knew it was in here, and I knew that he left this out. So at 12:17 is when he's coming down Kellen. So any minute here. I'm afraid the second I start to fast forward, it's going to be 12:16. So keep in mind, all this footage we have, it would be nice if I could maybe upload this to, say, Patreon, but not behind a paywall. So no, because I know people will twist that out around. But put it on Patreon, and obviously I can it's just a secondary source I can put it up on. Again, I have to get the green light before I can even do it. But, take maybe 6 hours from, or maybe even 3 hours, because even an hour, that's still a lot of footage, but maybe an hour at a time, I can kind of go through and make sure there's nothing has the neighbors, where it's, I don't want to, but it'd be nice to be able to just upload this footage and then, whatever we can, again, I have to get this green light, but the stuff that's, that's not going to impose on anybody's, personal space or, give out, showing their children, but, between midnight or let's say, I don't know, 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. on the night he went missing, as much footage that doesn't show anything that's compromising to the neighbors, and just upload that to, say, a secondary site like Patreon. Again, without a paywall, you can post stuff on Patreon for free. But that way to put it up there, and then people can just go through it, right? Be great. Oh, I'm missing what? Oh, I thought she was talking about Sebastian. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, was that an animal or something? Or a child? I guess maybe you're saying. That's the first part. Anyway. Okay, so it's 7:17. Again, you guys are just watching unedited footage. I just have it zoomed in. Here comes the guy right here. So he's done going down Devon, and it comes down Kellen. Like I said, almost a year ago. But there's something that they left out, right? And we're gonna see. Is this slow down? Yeah, is this normal speed? I think this slowed down just a little bit. Because he only goes down killing a few helms and then turns back. Again, I apologize because I got slowed down, but you'll see something move off right here. You start to see something, and that's him. And it kind of goes a little bit fast, and then it's gone. You know, now they're trying to say, oh, that's Sebastian, right? Even some latest videos I've seen, they're trying to say, oh, look, there's Sebastian running off because of freaking fish sticks. So let's continue the footage, right? Because, again, if it is just like what it appears to be, is that a guy taking his damn dog out at 12:15, or started at 12:12. There should be, if we see him coming out of his home, right? And he's walking his dog, we should be able to see him, and let me know in chat. If we see him coming out, let me know in chat. There probably should be footage of him going back into his home, right? And so here's the 12:17 footage again. That they tried to pass off as Sebastian. But it's just the guy, and I'm assuming his dog like probably jolted off for a bit, because it does look like the guy kind of gets moving a little bit right here, which you'll see. Right there, he's, again, it's, I know there's not a lot to see, but so that's 12:17. He came out 12:12. I wonder, what do you think is going to happen in the next minute if we just keep watching? Sorry. Oh, I know why I wanted to show this, because again, if Sebastian he would have to have come from this area, right? He couldn't just magically appear from this side. So he'd have to either come from here or up Kellen. And again, if he went up Kellen, God knows how many cameras, especially these two right here, would have seen him. I mean, we would have seen him clearly. And if he would have skipped through the backyards, he could only come out this one here, because the rest of them have a pool and a fence. And this is where those the one dog came through, and Michelle After Dark, wants to say that, oh, look, there's evidence, but if he came through there, well, obviously he'd be walking right through this huge light. But anyway, so here's 12:18. So here's what happens, what they didn't show you, is basically what I'm going to try to get to. What happens after a minute when we see this footage that they're trying to pass off as Sebastian? Is Nightbot being weird? I hope not. Sorry, it's going to be small. I do zoom in when I see it. I think it's... Oh, there he is. There he is. Wow. Less than a minute later, more or less, or a minute later, from when the person was seen right here, and I'll zoom in. Here it is zoomed in. Oops. The 12:19. It's at 18:35. Come on. There he is. And anyway, you can see him going inside. I think I might have put this timestamp. This should be 12:18. Anyway, in this footage, you can clearly see him walking back. And it's within a minute later from when you saw him walking down killing. So again, this, there he is. Again, I just put this together right here. And I apologize. You got to remember, this is like looking, 400 feet away. That guy's house. But it's there. It's in the footage. People can go back. This is why I would like to take some of the footage and just upload it. So it's unadulterated, the footage that I can. And that way, instead of people trying to use this footage for their narratives, they can look at it and, because there's always something that could be in this footage. There's so much. The other thing is also trying to enhance it. 1848, going through front door. 1848, is that when it is? Thank you, Neuro. Yep. You can start to see the movement. And again, if you're on your cell phone, I apologize. I didn't run really many filters, but sometimes when you slow it down and there's something moving in a far background, almost, sometimes it helps, and then sometimes it makes it worse because you can't really see the movement. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, no surprise there. It is the person walking back to his house, like we said nearly a year ago. And, it's just another example. It pisses me off because he clearly had some of the 24-hour footage, and there's no way he didn't see this. Again, if he actually cared, he would, because I would be like, if I saw this, right, and I'm kind of like scanning through footage, and I see this individual, well, obviously I'm going to scan many minutes before, or however much footage before and or after, right, to see what else I could see. And I guarantee he knew this person went inside. Guarantee it, they knew. But this just shows, he knew, because it's less than a minute later, the guy walks back to his house. And the reason I wanted to play this is because I've seen some new videos, even as like a couple days ago, where people are still trying to pass the one clip off as this is proof Sebastian ran off. And they're really trying to highlight this guy when he goes back the other way, because I think the dog kind of like takes off, because you see something little move first, and then you see the figure, and it kind of looks like they do kind of dart for a minute. I'm sure the dog probably, like anybody dog owner knows, the dog probably, probably maybe went to the bathroom or saw something, and then, again, I don't know, but I don't know, it just drives me nuts. Exactly. Thank you, lady. There you go. I appreciate it. So, anyway, I think it's some exciting stuff. The 3D scanner, I still want to do some more work. Again, the thing with the cement, that was wild. I was not expecting for it to tell me that it's, because it sees that divot, that would be a light source that was more lower to the ground. So it's exciting. Again, I really wish I could see the entire picture. I already told you guys that, I was going to create a kind of at least a Twitter thing where I put all the reports that I've got. So all these reports, you see here, that I have done, basically taking the subjects, running them through, all the different tests, and then just getting a cohesive explanation of what they are, where they're likely coming from, what is their speed, evidence, right? Not just theories, but actual evidence, and the best evidence to support, a theory. And so, yeah, this is a few of the reports that I have. I've got more on the way. And then I just want to put all those on like a Twitter thread, and then we tag TBI and FBI and all that. And then who knows what else? Maybe some other stuff. So anyway, let me read some chat here. I apologize. I get running and that could be a recipe. Yeah. Many ways to look at it, for sure. Yeah. Now, somebody said earlier in chat that Crispy did a new interview. Like, does anybody know if that's true? Like, was he on one of those channels again talking? Yeah, I'll do some investigating because I don't want the chat to like get divided, and I'll do my own research on that because I don't want to just take any one words for it, any one person's word for it. Oh, and then last thing. Oh, I meant to. Let me just one last thing I want to do before we head out. And so I can still read chat for a minute. I'd like to maybe, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I do want to do a show, and of course I want to do some other cases because I know, the stuff gets stale because I know I'm doing like the same thing. Again, if you guys knew the whole picture, you'd kind of understand. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. History. History? Sorry, lost train of thought here. Silvers. Again, we got to give this guy some major props. And I know there's other people that go out there, but my God. These people are amazing people.
We're open. We don't know what happened to Sebastian. That's why we're here looking for him.
So again, he's out there. I think this, I don't know if from what I've seen in the past, it seems like he goes out there for 3 or 4 days. I don't know if he's doing more, but it seems like he goes out there for a weekend, which again is amazing. And I know other people do as well. I'll thank you, Lori. That means the world. I just want to play a little bit of this. There's some interesting stuff he did find. And so I'll just kind of put a link to the channel if you want to check it out. He's kind of in the area where if somebody knows a little bit more, I think he's down south, kind of where Texas Roadhouse area. I think he said he was 3.7 miles. Old Drake's Creek. That's what it is. Old Drake's Creek. So he's somewhere. See the creek? Somewhere around in here, I think. Somewhere in here. I'm not sure exactly, 100% sure. Maybe someone in chat knows, but definitely in these kind of wooded areas here. There's like a power station. I'm not sure where it's at. Probably somewhere in here in front of me. Right in front of my eyes, and I can't see it. But anyway, pretty amazing. And this is on the way. Again, one of the theories, did he even make it home or did he get switched? And, Texas Roadhouse is down here. There's Drake's Creek Road here. There's a couple of different ways, and they could have cut over. Anyway, long story short, he came across some interesting stuff, which I'm not going to play all of it because, if you're interested, this stuff like this. And I miss doing this stuff. I mean, this reminds me of going out, working on a Dylan Rounds case and Aiden Clune, and it's just a feeling,
Go on Friday. Go on Saturday. Don't go at all. Pay another month. Your kid's missing. And then 3 weeks later, if I'm correct, you know, and so you get exact dates here, you go back. And she comes with you.
Oh, I turned that volume on at the perfect time. Oh, Silver's getting a little snarky. He's referring to when Mama left, you know, as any mother would do when their child's only been missing for a couple of weeks, right? You go on a vacation. All right.
An outdoor shed. So I think we are dealing with a home set here at one point in time. And
anyway, came across this little structure here. Again, what a weird, this is what's crazy. I found some crazy things searching for missing children. And that's definitely up there. A big giant key. That's hilarious. But this thing right here. These forts is kind of interesting.
I mean, a couple hours, but still, look at how they're tied together. Now
it could be homeless people
around us. This could be teenagers. These could be young kids.
You tell them, Silvers.
You know, build us a fort. You got the shiny thing that keeps you warm, like if paramedics or fire need to get your body heat back. You've got blankets. You've got some pants that we think maybe a medium-sized child's, like underpants. It's just weird because there's nothing more in this area. Right there's the power station, and then boom.
Oh, so he's not at Drake's Creek? I thought he said Drake's Creek. Okay, but I know he's somewhere south, right? Unless you're talking about something else. I know at the very least he's like south of the home. And I know he's about 3 to 4 miles away because I think he says that. But I put the link to his video twice in there. You know, if you want to check that out, I think it's interesting stuff. And, you know, you never know what you could come across. Again, that other group, Fred and Sheila, they came across that one guy that shot at people at the freeway. What was that, in Kentucky? I forget his name. Joseph Couch, something like that. I think they just went out there, you know, in these areas like this and came across his body, which is crazy. Oh, some people are saying Drake's Creek, or near it. Anyway, south of the home, but I think it's somewhere in there. Yeah, between the Texas, right? Yeah, so, yep, yeah, somewhere between here and there. And I mean, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. But again, huge shout out to him. Definitely go, you know, if you can go, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, give him a subscribe. He deserves it. That's truly amazing what they do. Because he doesn't even live in that state. I think, he lives in Georgia or Atlanta. So, you know, it's pretty amazing for him to, I don't know how many states he was going through, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish I could go back to doing that, but my stomach issues, although been a little bit better, still nothing to what I was, you know, a year ago. Oh, they live by you. Oh, the Hatfields and McCoys. Oh, that's cool, Misty. Joseph Couch. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. He is OG. I owe him so much credit. Again, the 3 a.m. video overlaying that, I know, you know, that kind of put me on the map for this case. And again, that's all credit to him because I knew Gary Hughes's overlay just didn't feel right. When they first did it, I just kind of looked at it, and I know Gary Hughes. Of course, I have no respect for him because he's gone after me multiple times. But anyway, we won't get into that. But long story short, I know he likes to be, you know, tries to be as accurate as can. So when I'd seen that originally, I'm like, okay, I guess, even though it does look weird. And then after hearing Bobby's interview, I started going back and looking at that. And then again, I couldn't line up those. I'm like, God, where are those floodlights coming from? And then once he said that home, and then I overlaid them, I'm like, yep, that's it. So, oh, thank you, Pocahontas. Yeah, I'm just getting less younger. I'm sure a lot of people go through it, and I'm just another person in a long list. Is what it is. But I appreciate that. God bless. All right, guys. Thank you to my wonderful mods. That was one other thing, but anyway, I'll try to do a few makeup lives. I wasn't feeling good, so I didn't go live yesterday. So hopefully some more lives, and we'll try to switch up some cases so it doesn't get stale on this channel. I do understand that, but again, I wish I could say the bigger picture, and you'd know why I'm trying to hound this case out, because I do think this case, believe me, I would not be doing all these reports if I don't think there's a definite chance and enough probable cause to get those people responsible, at the very least arrested on something, right? Even child neglect. And then just from there, let the dominoes fall how they may. Thanks, Bungee Cord. Thanks, Kiki. Thank you guys so much. I know sometimes it's not as attractive sometimes when you got this data, and especially this data I've been going over, but it's just adding on to this. And then the 3D scanner, I think it's exciting because it's, again, I kind of thought that was something that's just weird that you don't normally see. I'm sure we'll probably see it more as we cover more cases, more current cases, but again, it's especially with missing persons, you don't see that. So, oh, thank you, Sugar Beats. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Oh, thank you, Crazy Cow. You guys are awesome. Oh, that's interesting, Sandy. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy how. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Sassy. All right, God bless you guys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, mods. Yeah, there's some other stuff that we'll go over tomorrow. Yeah, but